No movement. Stiff, stiff. Oh, no movement. Knob missing. And this is as high as an elephant's eye. And it's actually bent upwards. Might be able to do something with that. And the string height is terrible. Other than that, there might be something to do with the head. It's a bolt-on neck, Fender style. It has what I think might be a gap there that might be a problem, but it may not be a problem. Depends on it. Don't look for problems if you don't have it. A couple of little chips and scratches. Haven't tested the heads yet. Yeah, okay, a little bit loose. A little bit too free. But we'll see, we'll test that later on. Okay, I think that's enough. No cracks in the neck or anything like that, which is a good job. Come back whenever I've finished looking at the last screw to see what's wrong in here. Something's not right. Put that there and put the screw in the little cup. So what do we see? 3 springs to the 1. I don't have a lot of room there. May have to loosen off those screws and put those on the 4 instead of on the 3 in the middle. But we'll have a play with that and see what it does. Okay. The thing I see here is that the strings are all pumped up to the maximum there, between there and the ground. That means the string height has been a problem in the past, and they've lifted that to C. It may be that it needs to be a truss rod adjusted. The other thing I see too is the irregular pattern here. And these are the things that set the intonation, these screws going in here. And usually they're not. But the neck has a little bit of a ski slope. Unfortunately, the automatic focusing won't allow you to do that, see it. But there's a bit of a ski slope there, and it might be that the neck's twisted as well, which is something I cannot sort out. Nobody can sort it out, but if I can get it working, I'll be happy. You can see there's a gap there, which means the neck is bowed. You can see the gap between the steel and the thing, but it's not at that end and it's not at the other end. So that is not awful, and hopefully the truss rod will be able to fix that. We don't want a perfectly straight neck. We want a slight bow in it. A little rattle means that the fret's uneven. It's a straight edge, and it means the fact that it rattles back and forth means it's got a little bit of a rise in the middle fret. Nothing. Nothing major here, because, let me just look at this one. There's some rattle, but I think maybe a fret polish down at the bottom where the neck's bolted to the body. That can be a problem because you might get buzzing on a couple of these strings. But we'll see, it should be an easy fix. To be in good condition, there's no dents or scrapes on it. It needs a little bit of a scrape just to clean it up, and some lemon oil on it. There's a couple of minor indentations that I can't show you because I can't, but this guitar hasn't been overplayed, so the fretboard's in good condition. I tell you, this guitar is completely dead, no sound whatsoever. So plug it in there. Bad connection for a start. Pickups. Oh, right. So there's, it was dead, but it's alive again. And the magnet force is quite fierce. So I'll have to adjust that. It's obviously to do with the electronics. And these are jam solid. So that's a good sign. Just see. Nice and clean. And working. Switch. next. Sadly, because the neck is slightly bent, the neck has to come off. 4 screws at the back, and then this lifts off. And there's the truss rod. The big challenge is, does the truss rod do anything? We'll soon find out. Interesting bit. Mark the frets with a blue marker the whole way up the board. And then I rub it with a flat. Let me just see if I have that flat thing. Yes, it's over there. It's a special flat bar with a little bit of fine sanding paper on it. And where it's taking off metal, it'll be shiny, and where it's not taking off metal, it'll stay blue. And the idea is to have everything, all the frets the same height, so the blue should all come off. But it's only a fraction of the bar is coming off. The dents in the bar, which you see up here, I'm not sure whether, oh, where are they? I've lost a guitar. Yeah, I'm not sure whether you see them. They're minor dents. This has been a well-played guitar, but I'm not sure I'm going to even touch them, because that could lead to having to take the frets out. But we'll see. Lemon oil on. And you'll never believe it, but after putting the lemon oil on, it smells like a rich lemon. Very thick, rich, lemony flavour. That moistens the wood, stops it from cracking out, but doesn't soften the wood, but treats it and finishes it, as it says on the bottle, cleaner and conditioner, conditions the wood. Don't put pledge or anything on these things. Now for the worst part. This guitar, they're loose, the heads. Could do with ripping them out and putting in good tuners, but it's not worth it on this kind of guitar. I just see. It's just not worth it. It's a good little guitar for a learner or for a beginner, but that needs to be done something with it, and they all need to be cleaned up. But you could spend £100 on tuners, but you can get cheap tuners, but you'll end up with the same thing again. They work, but whether they stay in tune or not, we'll find out. First 2 strings on to check the neck action. Don't have this is the bit I'm worried about, because if that starts to raise, we'll see. Now, the action is excellent on this little guitar, surprisingly. I was surprised. For those of you who have guitars, you don't want to change your strings, because changing your strings changes the tone of your guitar and you have to go through all the mess. There are some little tips for the top 3 strings. We can use a little bit of sandpaper and you go underneath it. Now this is for, I wouldn't do this if you're a professional guitarist, but if you're at home and you don't want to change your strings, which could cost 10 or quid, just fold the thing around and work it up and down. Up and down the string, up and down the string. You may be surprised what you see when you've done this, but it makes the string a very fraction thinner. It also keeps you with a pre-stretched string, and it then gives you a clean string. So just look at what you can do with the dirt that you take off the strings. That's what's on a lot of people's strings. Now you can't do it with the wound ones. The wound ones you have to use a soft cloth and maybe a hint of WD-40, but very, very little, and that'll clean it off. But you can see the dirt that comes off used strings. Cheers. There you are, Mr. Blair. Here's your guitar.